Hey guys, and welcome to the Natty Blueprint podcast. This is episode 66. Hopefully, everyone has had a lovely week so far and everything is good with them. How's your week been, mate? I know we've only had about 4 days between these episodes, but this one will go live on Friday. So,
Yeah,
predict your week as well.
I'll pick my week. Well, hopefully my week continues in the same fashion. Like, obviously, we had a bit of a training session or a few exercises together. That's the first time I've actually been able to like properly train chest. And I don't want to speak too soon, but I actually think it helped my shoulder. Like
Yeah.
day to day, like if I'm doing all this business, it feels pretty good. So yeah, I would just want training. I've got push tomorrow, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, training's been good. Everything else has been good. Coaching's going well,
Hey.
which I'm enjoying. It was quite, to be fair, like we can talk about that a little bit. Like going from me being very, very busy with coaching last year to then me almost intentionally stopping and some other things happening. Um, it's been nice to have that break. Like I think I needed it as well because turns out I was very burnt out from it, and I was like, right, let's focus on some other things. Let's enjoy some life, and it's been refreshing now coming back to it. Like I've got that big zest and big buzz for it. So yeah, it's been
Yeah.
going well.
I think as well, like if we look at the clientele that you were dealing with
Yeah.
prior, obviously with the associates,
Yeah.
it wasn't an easy clientele that
Yeah.
they were
Don't
drawing
get me
in.
wrong. I had some brilliant clients,
Yeah,
but I also didn't have much choice in the clientele as well.
yeah,
So
yeah,
there was a lot of hurdles going through. There was a lot of just unnecessary barriers that, yes, different clients will have different levels of experience, but the coach also needs to align with the client. And
yeah,
if that's not there, you're just going to butt heads. Like, there's no point having a client that doesn't fit your morals. I'm not saying none of them didn't, but just as an example, and the same with you. If you had a client that was just not for you or they didn't get on with you, it's just not going to work. So yeah, it's now nice having people come to me because it's just me.
it's you. Yeah, they're following you and your process, and they want to learn from you. It's not like obviously last time round it was kind of from another head. Like they were signing up to another head and then getting you. So
Yeah,
they're knowing that maybe not even knowing that person because it
yeah,
was
and that was
random.
another issue. Like I
Yeah,
then, after them signing up, and again, I don't want to talk too much on this topic, but we can skirt over some things.
yeah,
But obviously, when you sign up to coaching specifically, you should be signing up to the person,
yeah,
not the business, because you're then going to have to get passed to another pillar. I was at other pillar, and then that coach then has to get to know the client all over again once they've already gone through a bit of a process, which is just not smooth. And now it's client comes to me, I sign them up, and we just go from there. There's
yeah,
no transition in the middle. There's no middleman, and they actually know me. Like all the people that have signed up have been long-term followers, and it was
yeah.
just me posting a little bit about it. They're like, "Oh, you're coaching now?" It's like, "Yeah, come on board."
That
It was
that
as
is
simple as that.
literally that is literally what I was about to say. You've already formed somewhat of a relationship with these people prior to
Yeah,
them signing up. So
yeah,
they already know you, they already know what you're about, they already know your morals, they already know your thought processes, your methodologies,
yeah,
and they're interested in that. They resonate with that.
yeah.
But when you haven't got that, they're signing up to this thing that they don't really know
It
what they're
becomes more
signing
of
up
a
for.
product than an individual service.
Yeah, yeah, 100%.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's nice, and even the people that have showed interest as well is exactly the same. It's people that followed me for a long time, people that I know personally throughout the years. So they're signing up to me and not this thing.
Yeah, yeah. We'll skirt around the
Yeah,
topic.
like again, like it's just one of those things. Business is business at the end of the day, but it's now my business, and it's
Yeah,
how
and you
I.
can run things the way you want to run things. I think, I've been coaching now for fucking hell, nearly 7 years.
Yeah,
And I've always kind of ran my coaching the way I wanted to run it.
yeah,
And not been like selective with clients, but I've definitely been in certain scenarios where I've told people to go elsewhere because I'm not the
yeah.
right
You're not
coach for
aligned
them.
with them, or they're not aligned with you.
Yeah, and I just thought like there's a lot of backlash here. Like even on consult calls, you're having a conversation, you're already proposing some methodologies, and they're resistant to that.
Yeah,
And it's like, okay, you're not showing me willingness to learn here. You've
yeah,
come to me because you want to improve.
yeah.
And
This
what
is
you're
how I
doing currently
work.
right now is not working, obviously, because you're now hiring me to do
Yeah,
do the job. So yeah, you can obviously tell that in the past would just like form those relationships. But I think with myself, like I said, I've been doing it 7 years, and I've had clients like Willie B, who just stepped on stage. You know, I've been coaching him over 5 years.
Exactly.
You
Yeah.
know, he's had a couple of drop off points and then come back on, but you know, I think his collective weeks are like something like 260 something weeks. You
Nice.
know, like, and it's been a bit of a journey, but now he's a
No
competitor.
journey is smooth though, is it?
Yeah,
So
exactly. So I think, you know, you then form these relationships with clients where, you know, Tom, I've been coaching him for over 4 years, Dylan over 4 years.
yeah,
You know, like you gain this retention, you gain these relationships that you actually want to continue working with those people, and you don't really suffer that
yeah,
kind of overall burnout. So I can completely understand though, like we've all had, um, you know, worked with challenging people, and sometimes as a coach, like I think this is what people don't realize is when you sign up with a coach, like if you don't seem interested in actually the coaching process, the coach will know that straight away because they've worked with so many people in the past and they know that. And it gets to a point where if you're half-assing it, coaches will be like, look, either I don't want to work with you, they you know try and kick you up the arse as much as they can, but it gets to a point
it's
where you're
only
like,
so much. Like it'll get to the point. Obviously, it's not what you want, but the coach will start getting frustrated, and
yeah,
9 times out of 10, the only thing you can do is be like, go elsewhere. I don't really want you representing me because you want someone. Yeah, there's gonna be challenges with every single client, but if the client is not actually wanting to do the do, like you may as well just send them elsewhere or just
yeah,
get gone. Like it
yeah,
sounds harsh, but you don't want those sorts of people. And I think there's a lot of coaches out there that will just accept that
yeah,
long term, and that's just their business model just to get revenue in. But
yeah,
it's not fulfilling at all. You want to work with people who it's actually nice to work with, and you actually they get something out of you, you're getting something out of them from like a fulfillment standpoint because you're seeing them progress. But if it's just this constant bashing ahead, it's like, what are we both doing here?
yeah. I
Cool,
think
you're paying me, but it's not actually helping either of us.
no, I think yeah, they're just wasting your time at the end of the day. Yeah,
Yeah,
and I think like yeah, it's nice when you do form these relationships with people where, you know, for example, Tom, like he knows my methodologies inside out, but we have that relationship where I can tell it that I'm good friends with Tom now because I've been
yeah,
coaching him over 4 years. I've done shows with him. I've taken him through 2 seasons. But he knows when my coach hat is on, he
it's
listens.
time
It's
to
a bit
work.
like when I coached you, and we were obviously doing the podcast and everything like that. Like, and we're now obviously mates from probably from coaching, right? And
Yeah,
like, we wasn't as close prior
no,
to
like
coaching,
we
and
knew
now,
of each other, but it was
yeah.
never. Yeah,
And then I coached you for a long period of time. But when I told you, look, we need to do this, you'd go and do it. But
yeah,
then obviously you'd know a little bit more about
yeah,
me and it'd be a bit more friendly. So
yeah. And I'd always do that anyway. Like from me being a client, obviously being a coach, I think it's easier to have your head around it.
yeah,
Obviously, general population, anyone who's not a coach or not coach people, there can be a little bit of misalignment there. But if you're a coach yourself, you know how to be a good client,
yeah, for
and
sure.
it makes things so much easier. You know when to communicate.
I was just about to say, I've actually had I've coached a coach before who was actually one of my worst clients.
Oh no! Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We won't delve into that one, but yeah,
Jesus.
yeah,
Yeah, let's talk over your shoulder as well. So
a
obviously
coach.
we had a couple fucking hell. We had a couple of exercises together. Obviously I
Yeah,
just said to you like you were basically walked into the gym at the same time and you were doing pec deck next to me and I just said,
yeah,
look, give this incline Smith a go. And it was funny because literally I was like, stop the set before failure or just very close to
yeah,
failure. And you know, we just looked at your kind of arm path and everything and just making sure the alignment was good. And it was good to see that you were actually like happy with the sets as
yeah,
well.
yeah,
And it's a step forward in the right
yeah. Like the
direction.
biggest thing was that confidence. I think it was good, even if it was any exercise. I think any exercise you was doing, it was just nice to because I don't really train with anyone anymore anyway. It was just nice to have someone there to be like, no, that's good, or just maybe push me a bit more than what I normally would.
Yeah.
Because there was a couple of times, maybe it was just me getting better as well, like the shoulder getting better. So it was a nice kind of alignment of those things. But previously, I'd try it and I'd be like, no, that's too painful. Let's just sack it off. Whereas we kind of like worked through it. And yeah, I'm not training to failure. Yeah, I'm not pushing the weights that I was, but it's nice to actually get a little bit of stimulus. And my chest was a little bit sore, even from that work. So it was nice. So we'll see how it goes tomorrow. I'll probably just do the same movements tomorrow, just to, again, not take the piss of it and not go backwards. So hopefully things are looking good. Like my lower back's good. I had a pretty productive leg session today. Back on a leg press, no pain. So things are going pretty well. And like my post said yesterday, I think I posted it, like building momentum is exactly what you need. So momentum with business, momentum with coaching, momentum with training, nutrition, like it's what you need. Otherwise, if you ain't got that, you're just not going anywhere. So yeah, touch wood, fingers crossed, and all that business. It's a good session tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll be fine. I'm sure it'll be all good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I suppose I'll touch on my week. So obviously I had Willie B competing on Sunday, which was very, very good. He did UK UP7, so untested show. It was his first ever show. He's obviously a natural athlete. Our main shows are UKDFBA, WMBF, and then PCA Naturals 3. So a little bit of an early show for him, but it was mainly to just get stage experience, which was the main goal. And I'm happy with that. We managed to do that and get the stage experience we need. I think he went out 4 times in total. So he did 2 classes, but it was split in terms of pre-judging and then finals and presentation. So he did physique open and then physique beginners. He came 3rd in beginners, which is a great result. Probably, like, obviously him being natural, there's a lot of muscle there, right? There was a lot of muscle in the show. And you know, to stand with these guys, you've got to be probably a very, very good natural bodybuilder, like a very experienced natural bodybuilder who's done it many times.
Yeah.
And this is only the chapter 1 for him, so we were really happy with that. I was mainly glad that he just got to go out on stage 4 times.
Yeah.
Because that pressure now and that initial show nerves is out the way, and we
Yeah.
know what we need to do to improve. Initially, when he came on for his, it was very weird. Like, I'll talk about the show as well in a little bit. But they did physique open first, and then did physique beginners like as the last physique class, which I thought was a bit strange. Like, usually you'd expect like the beginners class to be
Yeah.
one of the
Especially if
first
there's
classes
people
on.
in both classes.
Yeah.
It just doesn't
So
make sense to do it that
his
way.
first time on stage wasn't in a beginners class; it was in an
Yeah, because
open class.
obviously it happened how it happened, but let's say there wasn't someone in both classes. Will's technically got the edge when it should have been the other way around if they were,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. It was a bit strange, but when he initially came out in open physique, I think he just lost the groove a little bit in terms of he just like it. He got that kind of first show nerves, and it showed within his posing. He was hitting shots, and he was kind of like a little bit kind of skew if and maybe over posing in a way, which we know within physique, it's like a natural posing. It's not like
yeah.
you're
Yeah, you sit in
overpowering
the
posing.
pose, you contract, but you just kind of not chill there. You're holding it and not just flattening yourself off. Because obviously, if you're contracting everything in men's physique pose, it's just not going to look good.
Yeah, it actually sometimes narrows you off, doesn't it?
Yeah,
If
yeah,
you're contracting everything. So I think you just overposed, maybe overthought it. But again, I don't want to. I'm not going to rip. I don't want to like sound like I'm ripping into him because I'm very, very proud of him. But
yeah,
obviously, I just want to try and break down the show. And it's good experience, like, because then we went out for the second time. His posing was a lot better as soon as he went out for the second time, because we did a couple of rounds in between. Just made sure that we tweaked things, calmed him down a little bit as well, prior to him going out for the second time, because I think he was just very amped up. Like, before his T walk, he kind of like sprinted out to the center spot, and it's like, look, just go out there, just take your time, enjoy the posing. You know how to pose. Like, he's been working with Kez for a while now.
yeah,
So just go out there and imagine you're in the posing room. And when he came out for the second time, it was light years better. And I literally said to him backstage when he came off, I was like, there you go, that was it. And you know, he was a lot more calmer, and I think he just realised that, oh, I don't need to just be very like on everything and over posing all the time. So that was good. And then just like as he went on throughout the day, his posing just got better and better on stage, which was great. Like, that was the main thing, and he got that stage experience, which was very valuable for him. And that just shows you as well, like, people take the piss out of. You hear people say, "Oh, this is a warm-up show," and like people take the piss out of that phrase, but
it serves a purpose.
it does, like, stage experience, like posing in a posing room, posing by yourself. is completely different to posing on stage.
I might be speaking for Will here, but I don't. Has he been to any bodybuilding shows before?
I'm not too sure. I don't think so.
Yeah. So let's just say he hasn't. He doesn't know how it looks. Yeah, he might have seen it on Instagram, but it's very different when you're actually there. So he's now actually had it firsthand. He knows roughly how it runs, how it operates. So whatever his next show is, UK DFBA, I believe,
Yeah.
it's just going to be like, right, I know what I'm doing now. I'm backstage, pump up, go out, boom. He knows kind of how it runs. Yeah, there might be some intricacies that are slightly different, but he now has that basically under his wing, so he hasn't got to worry about it. Obviously, if you've not seen a show before, for example, when I was at the first show, I watched a bit of it, which helped. I've been to bodybuilding shows before, but I hadn't ever really taken in an individual walk into consideration. It was kind of just watching it as a spectator. But then when you're there, you're like, okay, well, that person goes out first and blah, blah, blah. You kind of get the knack for it. Obviously, Will just literally head first into it. He's now got the second show to be like, okay, I know.
And he was also first class on of the day.
Exactly. So it's literally like, here now, out you go.
So new, yeah. But I'm really glad, and like I said, I've been coaching him for so long, and to see his just level up. This whole prep, I've said to him, I've obviously spoken, highly of him throughout this podcast this year when he's been in prep and how he's conducted himself, and he should be really, really proud. And your first ever show does not dictate you. It doesn't dictate what type of bodybuilder you are, and regardless,
even your first season.
Yeah.
Competed in one season.
Yeah.
There's people out there that have done it 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times.
Yeah, and you just got to work your way up the ranks, and that's for everyone. I'm very, very proud of him. It was a good showing for him. In terms of the show, the stage lighting was a bit naff. He actually looked better backstage, which was a bit strange. Hence why on my Instagram post I posted pictures of him backstage because I was like, like when you have pictures of him where he looks really, really good, and then on stage, like it was just a washy look. I was like,
this backstage should have been flipped.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not posting like many pictures of him on stage with that lighting. Like when I post pictures of him, I want him to look the way he actually does.
Yeah.
He looked really good. He was bursting full as well. I was very, very happy with the peaking process. The peaking process was really simple, linear load going into it. We did a little bit of peak max towards the end of the week, but I'm talking he did 2 capsules. So a serving of peak max is 4 caps. We did 2 capsules with the last 2 meals for 2 days out and 1 day out, and it just dried him off a little bit, a little bit of peak max just to aid that process of diuresis. He looked good. So I was really happy with the overall look. The plan for us now is just to get a little bit sharper for the UK DFBA. So we've got to play to his strengths, and his strengths are we can get him nice and conditioned. We know he's not going to be the biggest guy on stage, so we have to play to his strengths and drive the condition up and try and out condition some of the bigger guys, which I know he can do. So yeah, I'm excited for that. The show was interesting. Let's put it that way. With I've never been to a UK UP show before, and this is not me hating on any federation. It was it just seemed a bit meh. If I'm honest.
For example, let's just compare UK DFBA, WNBF, PCA. There are going to be ones that you prefer. Some things come better. And the UK UP is just in the mix of not being where you want it to be.
Yeah. I'd say it's on the same level as like FitX.
There you go. And that's I think a lot of people are scared to say that. But I think it's important just so people know what they're getting into. Because no, I'm probably not going to say what I was about to say. Different shows have got different funding. Let's put it that way. And it depends what you want to go into, but just know that there might not be the best production.
I found the stage lighting a bit disappointing. And David was there as well, obviously filming.
Yeah.
And he was like struggling with the stage lighting, obviously filming and stuff as well. So it was one of them, but I suppose that's just like a venue thing. Maybe they can sort that out, hopefully, in the future, and it maybe be a little bit of a better show. I found a couple of things weird, like the classes, like Bikini Mums. I think that's an interesting class.
No pizza.
Yeah, putting on pizza for athletes. I think that's
especially given that, let's say there's a lot of first time or just a lot of people that are just fairly new to bodybuilding, putting that in front of you. Especially when most people are going to be most vulnerable post-show and you're throwing pizza at them. What are you doing?
Yeah. I don't. I see. You can see why they want to do it as like a celebration type thing of
Yeah.
obviously you've competed, but
I think
like
it just shows a real lack of understanding of what people have not gone through because you're choosing to compete, but I think it's just a really poor lack of awareness thing to do after a bodybuilding show.
yeah, I think that when your food is such food noise is so high
Yeah,
within a prep, and then you're coming off stage, and majority of these competitors' coaches are going to give them an off-plan meal anyway.
yeah,
You're then giving them pizza. When you come off stage, you get this euphoric. So for people who haven't experienced it, you get this euphoric feeling. You're like on cloud nine. It's like a huge adrenaline rush, and
yeah,
it's kind of addictive in a way, right? I suppose. Like,
yeah,
um, and emotions are high. And what happens? You end up trying to chase that feeling,
yeah,
and the easiest way to do that is through food. Food
yeah,
is the biggest dopamine hit
yeah.
we get.
Especially when you've been lacking it
Yeah,
for,
yeah,
let's say, 20 weeks, sort of
yeah,
whatever.
yeah. So to then put that on, I don't necessarily agree with. I think just let the coaches be the judge. Like I said to Will, I was like, don't even think about it. You're not having pizza. Like you're
Yeah,
going home, you're eating,
yeah.
whatever
Because
your favorite
again,
meal on your
like
plan.
a client or just a competitor will be most vulnerable leading up to the show and post show.
Yeah,
And let's just say they did have the pizza. They then got that taste for it. They're then gonna be like, oh, I really fancy like because it can trigger people.
yeah, for
Like,
sure.
like it's gonna be like this is bad food. They're gonna be like, oh, I need more of that. I need to hit that feeling again because
Yeah,
yeah, like, food tastes amazing when you've been lacking it,
yeah,
but it's not the right thing to do. Especially like there's other shows going on in a few weeks' time. Obviously, they don't necessarily know that. They don't know that the client's got more shows, but it's still not something that I
yeah.
agree with at all.
No,
Basically,
I think 9 times out of 10 people are going on to more shows.
yeah.
Right, not a lot of people are calling their season there, especially at this time of year. Like this, it's in
Yeah,
May,
pretty early.
right?
Yeah,
It's pretty early. There's plenty more shows to do.
yeah,
Um, I don't even like clients eating off plan any time in a prep setting,
yeah,
even post show. Obviously, not in a prep setting, but like any time post show, anything like that. I will give a client an off plan meal once the prep is done,
yeah.
and I think that is the best way to do it. If you give someone an afternoon off, an evening off after they've eaten,
You can just
after
do
they've
so
competed.
much damage. Yeah,
Yeah, there's so much damage. I've done it before. 2019, I got told after I come off stage,
eat what you want.
have the evening off, eat what you want.
Yeah, and you
Just
are just a bottomless pit. Like your
yeah,
hunger
mate.
signaling's all over the place, and even if it's not all over the place, you're just gonna want to eat
Yeah, for
because
sure.
you've been told to.
Yeah, for sure. So, and I knew I had the opportunity. I was like, cool. I have the whole afternoon off. I was eating probably 5 hours straight. Didn't stop. I remember we went out for an Italian.
And it's not
I
going to be great food either, is it?
no,
It's going to be food that you haven't touched for 20 weeks.
yeah, mate. We went out for Italian. I had a starter, a pizza. I finished half my mate's pizza. I finished my mum's pasta. I then had a dessert. I then went to a corner shop, bought 4 chocolate bars. Then we drove home from the venue. I then bought a packet of Pop Tarts and ate till pretty much. I just couldn't stop. I
Yeah,
woke up next day. I was like 6 pounds up.
yeah.
All right.
And that's probably not even that much damage, really.
No,
What?
no, I probably should have been worse, to be
Yeah,
honest.
yeah.
Woke up next day 6 pounds up. I had a show 5 days time, so I completed on the Sunday. I then was on stage on the Saturday, the following Saturday.
Potentially, depending on what your food or what your plan of action was that day after, you might have even seen a jump up on a scale the following day as well.
Oh, it didn't come back down
Yeah,
until maybe the following show day. I actually hit a new low.
yeah.
Um, and yeah, I checked in, got told 45 minutes hit cardio. Cardio had been increased. The
Yeah,
food
so
was
you just
lower.
shot yourself in the foot massively.
Yeah, I basically just shot myself in the foot, and I look back at it now as a coach, and I'm like, well, if I was just told, just go home and eat your favourite meal that's on your plan. Go home, have a big bowl of oats, have 120 grams of oats or whatever,
Yeah,
some whey, some berries, some dark choc. Sound. Even if it's 1,000 calorie meal, because it doesn't really matter because you probably haven't eaten that much on a show
yeah,
day. It's like, cool, that's 1,000 calories. I might be a pound up the next day. Doesn't matter because that'll come off straight away, and I've stayed in my caloric intake for prep at that point in time.
yeah.
I don't need more food. I've been peaking for a week. You don't need more
Exactly.
food.
Yeah, you're probably the fullest you need to be for a show anyway, and going mental with it the day after,
Yeah.
or even on the evening.
Yeah.
What's the idea?
So to kind of bring it back, that wasn't. I don't think that was the greatest idea from the federation to put on pizza.
Yeah,
You know, do I want to say this? Oh fuck it, I'm gonna say it. I don't give a shit. nine out of 10 of those competitors, so there's probably about 30 competitors in the whole show. I'd say 90% of them needed to get leaner, right? There was a couple of people who were peeled, and I was like, that's sick.
Yeah.
I'm even saying this on my client. Will needs to get leaner, and he's going to get leaner. But to then go off plan when you've got a show in X amount of weeks' time,
you're supposed to be improving, not making yourself look worse.
yeah, it's then you're playing damage control and you're playing catch up for a week or at least a few days after. And then what I would always ask people is, would you cheat on your diet about X weeks out?
No.
You know, if you've got a show in 3 weeks, would you cheat on your diet 3 weeks out? No, you wouldn't. So why do it post show? It seems a bit of a buzzkill, doesn't it? But I think there's.
Yeah. I mean, it's important to speak about as it is, like, and not sugarcoat it.
Yeah. Yeah, it was funny actually because I made that story yesterday and Lisa replied to it saying, "What's my post-show meal?" And I was like, "Oats," and then I was like, "Just water though, nothing else." And no, she said, "Oh, I hope I get all the trimmings with it, like because she has nut butter and whey and all that crap with it." And I was like, "No, it's just because she hates black coffee, like straight black coffee.
Yeah,
she has to put a bit of sweetener in." I was like, "No, it's just oats and black coffee mixed in water, no microwave."
You've got to chew the oats just so you have
a
few more calories.
Oh dear, but yeah, I suppose that's the show wrap up. Like I said, if I'm not trying to do a hit piece on the federation at all, it was a great experience for Will, and I'm glad we did the show in general. I believe that there's better federations out there. Let's say that.
Yeah.
Cool.
Served its purpose.
It did. It served its purpose. Should we get into some questions?
Let's begin. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not bad considering I put it up at like midday.
I think I've got 5 as well.
Amazing. Josh R has asked, "What is the best Marvel film?"
Spider-Man 2.
Avengers Endgame.
If we're going MCU, I'm saying Infinity Wars.
Yeah, that's up there.
But I think in terms of like, do you remember when Spider-Man 2 came out? Like with the original Spider-Man, like that and Doctor Octopus, like that was like ridiculous for that time.
It is good. I don't like them anymore. It was like my favorite film, but now when I'm watching back, it just doesn't hit the same.
Yeah, of course. But like in terms of like the actual production of that film, though, for that,
like my favorite growing up was the Eric Banner Hulk.
Mm.
That was my favorite one.
Yeah. What initially got you into bodybuilding / competing?
Into bodybuilding, I guess going to what was LRF.
Yeah.
Switching from the gym group to LRF kind of accelerated my bodybuilding. Like I always trained, I always ate well, but it was never what I'd consider bodybuilding. I'm only now a bodybuilder in my eyes now that I've competed, but probably what got me into it was just wanting something a little bit more out of my training. And that was, at the time, changing gyms, changing environment, changing the people that I'm training with. From there, it just kind of evolved very, very quickly.
Yeah. I'd say the same. Like just going to a bodybuilding gym, like you're exposed to more, right? So then you go, oh, maybe I'll give that a go, and then you just go from there. And competing, I think I'm going to be honest. I think it was AJ who got me in, who like driven me into competing because I used to watch a lot of AJ. So I started following AJ in 2018.
Yep.
I believe he competed that season, or maybe no, it was 2017. He won a WNBF junior title. I can't remember what year it is. It might have been 2017 or 2018. And I was following him from then, and I used to like ask questions on his podcast. And then I literally just searched like natural bodybuilding shows when I was doing summer shredding with Alpha Elite.
Yep.
And I searched like natural bodybuilding shows, and BNBF came up, and I was like, oh, there's a BNBF show in like 10 weeks.
Let's do that.
I was just like, let's do it.
Yeah.
So back in that time, I suppose it was a little bit different to what it is now, like the exposure of it. Just prepped myself for majority, then jumped on with a coach at like 6 weeks out, a local coach, and then that was it.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of what actually got me into competing, it was you, and You should compete. You'd look well good.
I was like, yeah, I was like, Denny, why aren't you doing physique?
Yeah,
Like,
and then I was to be fair, like I didn't ever really have that much. Like I knew who you like Jeremy Buendias were, things like that. Like I knew of men's physique, but I never really even watched bodybuilding. I was always into the fitness industry, but I just never really looked at bodybuilding. Yeah, I'd look at C-Bum and all the other big names, but that was about as far as it went. And then when he was like, "Oh, you should do men's physique," and then I think it was a few weeks after that we had like a posing session. I was like, "What the fuck is this? Like, what am I doing?" And then yeah, it just evolved from there.
yeah, yeah, I remember that. I
Yep.
remember that time. I was like, I just kept saying to you, I was like, just do physique, bro. Like, just jump into it and do it.
You've got no legs, so men's physique is for you.
I was like, well, men's. I think regardless how big your legs are, I think with your shape, men's
Yeah,
physique's just always going to suit you.
yeah.
Um, Roshan's asked, do you think discipline can become unhealthy? That's a good question.
If it's taking away from other areas in your life that you still consider valuable, then yeah.
Yeah, I
For
suppose it
example,
comes as
relationships,
mixed.
work, like if your discipline in one discipline is too much, you're going to take away from elsewhere. It's about balance, but that balance that is relevant to you. It doesn't mean 50-50. It just means how do you balance everything? Because
Yeah,
if you suddenly go 100% in, let's say, bodybuilding, guess what? Your work's going to take a hit. But you need to balance what is 100% for you versus what you need to give to work, what you need to give to your family, what you need to give to your friends. So
yeah,
yeah, if I'm kind of taking that question as it is, yeah, it can do.
yeah. I think yeah, as soon as it starts to negatively impact other areas of your life that are important, I suppose then like for I don't know would this be an example like for example you'd refuse to go out for a meal with your girlfriend in the off season and you'd never go out and do anything else apart from just
Like,
go to the gym and
yeah,
like
your disciplines is that helping you in life. No.
yeah, yeah,
But then if, let's just say, your partner is supportive of that, it doesn't actually matter because
yeah,
you're both just as disciplined to not go out for a meal.
yeah,
It
yeah,
depends what your circumstance is. Like if it's basically if it's making other people's lives hell and those people are in your life and you're choosing them to be in your life, just pull back a little bit.
yeah. I
Like
suppose as well if it's making your life hell. Like
yeah,
if you're so disciplined that you're actually not enjoying being this disciplined, why are you that disciplined?
yeah, you're just forcing yourself at that point because you think that's what's going to make you happy and it's
Yeah,
turns out it's not.
yeah, yeah. But I'm going to tell you now, a majority of people are not as disciplined as what you think they would be,
Nope.
and 90% of people probably should be more disciplined.
Yeah.
Um, Fucking hell, Russian man. I don't know if I can ask this question.
Oh no. Well, we can always just not answer it unless it's
I'm going to
really
get cancelled on this podcast already.
like left.
No, it's ever thought about hiring a trans so you get the strength but can underpay them?
Hiring a trans.
Yeah, I don't really get that
What do you mean hiring them?
actually.
Hiring them for what? What strength were
Ever,
you
ever
what were you
thought
after?
about hiring a trans so you get the strength but underpay them?
I'm confused.
Well, luckily we don't have to answer it then because it doesn't make sense. But I
Yeah.
just saw it when it said trans. I was like, and it's Russian. It's going to be horrendous.
Uh, oh, Ross dog. What are you like?
Yeah, thanks, Rosh Dog. Fat to Fit 2004 has asked, how much do you think the quality of gym equipment can affect your gains? Now, this is a good question.
The gym equipment, no. It shouldn't, unless you've got a dumbbell, then yeah, you're going to struggle. But if you've got something to do every movement pattern and you're not sacrificing load, like you haven't got a, what's the word I'm looking for? You haven't reached the ceiling of the weight capacity that's at your gym, then yeah, I think you should be fine. Like
Let's
most gyms have got Smith machines, dumbbells that are
yeah,
heavy enough.
let's
Like,
say we're comparing a pure gym to our gym, for
yeah,
example.
the equipment will get you to where you want to be in both gyms. It's
Yeah,
how you feel in that environment. For example, that's why I changed gyms. I wasn't stacking all the machines. The machines were decent. Like it's just matrix equipment. It's not the best. It's not the worst. But it was the environment that was holding me back. So no, I don't think the equipment can. Obviously, if you got genuinely shit equipment, like it doesn't work, then yes. And if you've got dumbbells that go up to 20 kilos and you can press the 40s comfortably, then yeah, it's going to cause you an issue. But I don't think that the gym or the facility, as long as it's got the bare bones, you're, I don't think you can't make progress.
Yeah. Do you think, for example, let's say you have a techno gym upper back row, you train exactly the same in terms of intensity, everything's the same, versus a prime row. Do you think the person who, if they were exactly the same individual, same genetics, I'm trying to cover all variables here, do you think they would make the same progress, or do you think the person with the better kit would make a small amount more progress?
Marginal. But let's just say person A really loves that techno gym piece of equipment and they haven't reached the limit of the strength with
You're
that.
adding more variables.
No, it's not. Enjoyment is a factor when it comes to progress.
Yeah, true.
Let's say they both really love that piece of equipment. I think you will make just as much progress on each one of them, provided you're training to failure. Your sleep, your diet, everything else is exactly the same, and you're putting yourself in the best position to, let's just say, grow muscle. Then yeah, I think it's the loading profiles aren't as important as people think.
No, I think that when you get to a point in your training career, that loading profiles will probably
Yeah,
be
because
a
it
little more
allows you
important.
to like manage things like injuries. It allows you to change how you're training. You can, let's say you're plateauing. There's just more things you can play around with to help you keep progressing.
Yeah.
But if we're just talking strict from A to B to grow muscle, I don't think it matters.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I would. I'm trying to not be like super nerdy, but I would say the quality that you could get off the prime piece in terms of aligning the resistance profile to the strength curve of your muscle, you bank higher quality stimulus than what you would if you were on a very, very poor piece of equipment.
Yeah. That is assuming that the person knows how to train as well.
Yeah, yeah. Like we're
You can
trying
have
to.
the best piece of equipment and the person just doesn't know how to use
Yeah.
it.
I'll give myself an example.
Versus someone that knows how to use a piece of equipment but isn't, no, how can I word this? Let's just say people training hard versus not training hard. Let's say someone trains really, really hard on the techno gym and someone doesn't train very hard on the prime piece. Guess who's going to grow
Yeah,
more?
techno gym, 100%.
It's not the equipment at that point. It's the work ethic.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. No, I do agree with you. I think that it's marginal, like you said. I think when you're looking at
But let's say like
squeezing.
people like me and you, let's say we did the same and we run the same piece of equipment for 6 months and then we moved to the other one for 6 months and we had some magic machine that could tell us how much muscle we put on. We're going to probably put on more muscle with the prime piece.
Yeah,
Just because we know how to use that piece of equipment.
yeah, yeah. No, I think it is marginal though, because I have clients who train in pure gyms and they make a lot of progress, and it's all about, like you said, work ethic at the end of the day.
And also just be smart with your training as well. Like you'll be surprised what you can get up to in a pure gym or a gym group and you can just make things work.
Yeah,
Like if you're struggling with load on dumbbells, obviously you can move to a Smith machine or you can just play around with cables to the point where you can pretty much do every single exercise on a dual cable stack
yeah,
or
yeah.
legs.
Yeah, I mean, even as well, like you can kind of play around with the equipment, like use a foam roller on a hack if the angle's not.
Yeah. Or what Steve Hall used to do with the hack squat, the Matrix one, put plates underneath to
Yeah, to get better range
it
of
does
motion.
bottom out really early. And
Yeah.
guess what? Steve Hall was training, I'm pretty sure was in a gym group at the
Yeah,
time.
yeah, yeah,
He's a very, very educated lifter.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think that's a good question though, because I think a lot of people are more obsessed with the equipment than actually the work rate on the equipment.
And I think sometimes ignorance is bliss to it. Like I've got some people who don't really know the difference between what equipment is and they just train hard on it. They don't know about loading profiles. Sometimes it's better to not know about these things and
Yeah, yeah,
just know how to train hard.
yeah. Literally, just keep going.
I also see people who are using pieces like Prime, things that have adjusting resistant profiles, and they're butchering it from what I can see because they don't know how to operate it.
Eat equal load on each peg.
I mean, that actually has its purpose because you're making the resistant profile smoother across all of it. Try it, and I've actually looked into ChatGPT on how this works. It actually works. So I think you should reverse that on your.
No, I'm not reversing that. I'm aligning my resistance profile to my strength curve. Thank you.
Yeah, obviously align it, but if you want a nice even resistant profile to the point where putting it on any particular pin doesn't bias one and you just want it smooth, putting it across all three pins equally will create a smooth resistant profile to the point where it mirrors a cable.
I would never program a prime piece like that,
Okay. Well,
though.
for example, there's people like, oh, I've lifted 6 plates on my chest supported row and they're top pinning it with like a quarter range of motion.
Yeah,
It's like,
or they put the chest pad so far back that they can literally just yank it off.
yeah, so it's not doing anything at that point. So yeah, like you're changing a resistance profile, but you're actually just not doing it effectively.
Yeah, yeah. I think they're also good, like for managing injuries and like you said as
Yeah.
well. Like
Yeah.
we played around with the prime piece when you
Yeah.
were on
For
it.
example, I have a lot of pain at the bottom end of getting out of it, so it makes sense not to load it where it's heaviest there.
Yeah, yeah. So we loaded it on the bottom peg, more load on the short and range. You
Yeah,
didn't have any problems.
exactly.
Yeah, good question though. I like that. That was
Very
a good
good.
little
Yeah.
good bit of a debate.
He also asked, "What's your favorite brand of gym equipment and your least favorite?" So Techno Gym is my least.
Yeah,
And Prime, probably Prime Cybex. That would be up there. Think
yeah.
about.
Prime, Cybex, Nautilus.
Have you used much of the Cybex Bravo?
No,
Yeah, like it. I'm so glad that they've got it, but with certain I think I spoke about it on the first time that we used it. It's so uneven left to right
yeah.
to the point
I
where
don't
I
know
now
what's.
just don't use it.
Yeah, I don't know what's funky with it, but something is.
Yeah,
I actually really like Jim Neco. I think their kit is actually decent. Like
yeah.
I haven't
I
been on a
love
Jim Neco piece and been like, this is shit.
Yeah, that Jim Leco Hack Squat's my favorite.
Yeah, yeah, it's my favorite hack
Yeah.
because I can seatbelt it. Skirt, skirt.
Driving cars.
I did have a little bit of banter with Clint the other day,
Yeah,
because he had a PT client in there, and he was talking about like foot pressure with them when they were doing their set, and he got the hip pad and then put it, where the shoulders are to
yeah,
shift the hips forward. And he was like, "Oh, do you want to give the hip pad a go?" And I literally was like, "Do you want to give the seatbelt a go?"
yeah. Like to be like whatever you want to do on a piece of equipment, I don't think it matters.
No,
Like,
I don't. It's just funny, isn't it? I think
yeah,
we're all just playing jokes at this point in time. We're just doing these
yeah.
little small digs that are
What I
just.
might do next time is seatbelt my waist, put the back pad on, and then like put a band around my feet, just keep my heels down, and
Oh, and then no, get some wrist straps and strap yourself in.
I'll be so optimal. And then I'll band to the machine as well.
Oh, and a belt. You've got to
Yeah,
wear a belt.
yep. Knee sleeves,
Knee sleeves.
elbow sleeves. I'll put a crash helmet on as well.
Don't forget the squat shoes.
Yeah, I'll wear some Vibrams and a mouth guard. What else can we do?
Oh, I
God,
don't know.
yeah.
That's
And
probably
just
it.
make sure you make loads of noise when you do it as well.
Yeah. To be fair, I do that anyway, so I haven't got to worry about that. So badly that people mock me on the other side of the gym. He's
Yeah.
been banned now, by the way, which is brilliant.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
I
Amazing.
actually forget sometimes we're on a live podcast.
Doesn't matter.
um, Cables asked, what made you choose AJ as a coach, and what are the things to look for when searching for one? Okay, so we'll probably split this question in two. We'll just put it as like the first one. What made me choose AJ as a coach? I inquired with AJ in 2020. So after my first initial season, went through a post-show period, did a bit of a gaming phase, then we went into lockdown. And I just resonate with him. I think back then there wasn't as many coaches as well, and he was the only coach I inquired with at the time. And I just followed him. Like I said, I followed him for a while.
Yeah.
So he just was someone that I was like, okay, I like his methodologies. I like how he trains. I like his approaches. I already follow some of those approaches now. It was all very, beat the logbook, train by JP style kind of training back then. And I was like, that's what I like to do. I'm going to go with someone who I resonate with. I already had some back and forths with him as well, just like chatting on Instagram. So yeah, I inquired, and obviously he's kind of been my only coach for the last
Yeah. And it
6
goes
years.
back to what we were saying at the beginning. Like you aligned with him, he aligned with you. It
Yeah,
makes sense. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, and like I trust him with every decision that he makes. I always like
Yeah.
so. Yeah, but then I suppose the second part of the question is what are things you should look for? I think we covered it a little bit earlier on in this podcast, but what are the things you should look for when searching for a coach?
Their results.
Yeah,
Obviously, it's not the only thing you should look for, but it is a good indicator of whether that coach will get you to where you potentially want to be. Um, yeah, a coach might have a different methodology to you, but if you're looking for results and you're looking for something specific and niche, and that coach is giving that to the rest of the clients, it makes sense. For example, you, natural bodybuilders, if someone is not natural, they're probably more likely to go with someone who
yeah,
is an assisted coach or specializes in that. So try and look for someone that fits with what you're trying to achieve. It helps if they're local, doesn't have to be local. Um, I guess we could go down the things that what not to look for. Look for people who it just seems like they're, let's just say, unfortunately, in the coaching industry, there is a lot of gimmicky sales tactics where it's just cold DMs or setters messaging you. If you're going with someone because they've pressured you into signing up, or it's just a robot messaging you and it's the first coach that's interactive with you, please don't sign up with them. Like,
yeah,
that's just not what you should do. Like, again, people have different tactics, let's just say, but if it's coming from what I consider disingenuous, then don't go for that. Go with honesty and openness.
yeah. I think so. Yeah, just aligning yourself with that coach. I think even for example, when Dylan first on board with me, he didn't necessarily have the same methodologies towards training as what I did, but he then adapted and he now
Yeah,
trains
yeah,
and enjoys and progressed very,
yeah,
very well from that. So he was open to learning and he improved a lot from that. So yeah, you might not like resonate with everything they do, but if they're
you're
getting
going into it
results,
open-minded, then
yeah. I think results are very, very important. I think if people, and also another thing that I think a lot of people don't speak about, results are important. But also look at like the clientele they're working with. Are you seeing a new client every single week? Or are you seeing the same clients? Because I'd be more inclined to join up with a coach if I saw that they were working with the same people for years on end
yeah,
rather than new people every week.
yeah. You don't want essentially what is a high churn rate of just
Yeah,
in and out, where you're probably just crash dieting the client, getting a result of them, and then they clear off.
yeah, yeah. Retention is a massive thing that I would look for. How often are people staying with them? Talk to their clients as well. Talk to the people who they
Yeah,
are working with them already. Ask them how they are. I know, for example, Zach, he spoke to you before onboarding with me, asked
yeah,
me what I was like as a coach and things like that.
yeah,
So I think that's a great way of doing it. Just like exposing yourself to, and also potentially maybe inquiring with a couple, because there's so many coaches nowadays. Inquire with a couple, jump on a call, have a have
yeah,
a chat, and just break the ice, and then you get to know them a little bit as a person. They get to know you. You understand if you're a good fit.
yeah.
Job done.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, you don't want to sign up to something that you know nothing about, because that's when it might not even be the coach's fault at that point. You might just be signing up to something so blind where you've not done your due diligence and research to the point where you're like, oh, actually, this person isn't for me. And that might be the client's fault, not necessarily the coach's fault.
Yeah.
So make sure you're looking into it, because you are signing up to something that essentially a coach is handling your entire life.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you're
If you're
gonna
going
get
down competitive route, there's a lot of
you're gonna get
aspects.
the highs, the lows, the ins and outs of the personal life. Like, so you need to make sure that that person is capable of doing it, and make sure that you align with that person.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, good question.
Very
We had
good.
some decent ones today, not just
We have
what I can fit on my
absolute
arse or something like
nonsense.
that.
We've got one from Rosh. One thing you would never sacrifice for bodybuilding or your goal physique. So basically, what are you willing? No, one thing you wouldn't sacrifice.
This is going to sound really corny, but like love,
Yeah,
like just like family love, relationships, stuff like
yeah.
that, like love for friends and things. Like I wouldn't sacrifice, yeah, just elements of people who
Yeah.
bring more to my life.
Yeah, that like yeah, people around you, and I guess enjoyment. Like I wouldn't sacrifice my
Yeah,
enjoyment just to get shredded. Like, yeah,
Yeah,
there's going to be times in the journey where it's not going to be as enjoyable, but if you're hating every single part of the process, why are you doing it?
yeah, yeah. I think I mean, I suppose we sacrifice a lot in the grand scheme of things from an outsider's perspective. It doesn't necessarily seem like a lot of sacrifice at a time,
Yeah.
because you obviously do it because you enjoy it, right? So the sacrifice doesn't really see. It's kind of like an easy decision. Um, but yeah, I think yeah, just in terms of people around me, my happiness, enjoyment, things like I truly really value, like I wouldn't sacrifice that.
Yeah. So yeah, you're not going to bin off your girlfriend for bodybuilding.
No, no, no way.
There we go.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's
That's
what we
all. There you go.
that's what we're going with.
Cool. We'll call it there then, because I've got a busy evening ahead. So, thank you, people, for watching episode 66. Hopefully, you all enjoyed. If you have, make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you're new. And we will catch you in the next one. Cheers.